Welcome to my YouTube channel. I assure you that you have made a right choice by investing your time in this video. Hello and warm greetings. We hope you are healthy and staying safe. We have created this video series to explain concept of different types of fraud. To simplify the ideas, we have taken example in the context of Nepal. Nevertheless, you can relate them to your country which you belong to. If you are preparing for certified fraud examiner, you will find this video series very useful. But even if you are not, you will get such valuable information from this video series that you can apply in your day-to-day life. Without wasting any more time, let's look at the topic that we will be discussing in this video series. We'll talk about common types of fraud that are committed almost in every part of the world. We'll also walk you through the frauds that are committed through different types of chat messengers like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, which are happening especially in Nepal, India, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, and so on. What is the purpose of share? We'll look into that, and we'll also explain the reason why bearish market can be very speculative and why it poses danger to the investors. Last but not least, why people fall for the fraud, even so-called educated and smart ones. There will be a ton of information in this video series that you don't want to miss. So please subscribe this channel right now if you have not done it already. Let's begin with our first thing in our agenda. What are the common types of fraud? And this video will focus on that. There were so many frauds in the history, but they will be never matched to Charles Ponzi, who created first Ponzi scheme in 1919. The technique which was employed then is also employed now. Although the Ponzi scheme is sold to potential victim in different packages, the core concepts remain same. Do you want to learn how to become a Ponzi schemer by yourself? Don't worry. If you follow this guideline, you will become one, or you can protect yourself from those type of schemes. Of course, we prefer you do the latter one. Chapter 1. First, create a deal out of thin air. Does not matter it should be real. Make it sound complicated, but it should be highly profitable. Hitler once said, bigger the lie, more people will believe in it. Promise them high returns in short period of time and they will be leaking out of your hand. Don't believe it? Look at the example of Bernie Madoff. All he had to do was to tell his investor about his hypothetical, complicated, nonsense investment scheme that provided amazing returns. Did investors said, wait, let me first understand this. You said this figure came out from this derivative and multiplied by 0? Hell, I don't have a time. Take this money, just give me the check at the end of the month. Chapter 2. People will buy into your scheme. There will be few victims first, but others will follow. Always pay your first investors in time. Make them believe that your scheme works and they will bring more to your slaughterhouse. Collect the money, repay money to earlier investors as long as more people come to invest in your scheme. Let's say your scheme does not start to sell. People don't want to invest. Then it is time to pack and run for it. After people see that they are not getting any money in their account from your investment scheme, then they will realize that something is wrong. But by that time, you will be already riding off into the sunset. Since you are a very nice guy, you may be more concerned about protecting yourself from such kind of investment scheme. There are actually 3 telltale signs that you need to look for in order to identify if such a scheme is Ponzi or not. The first thing to watch out for is whether the investment scheme is difficult to understand or not. There are lots of details which are left out, but this scheme promises very huge return. If you buy the share of this company, which operates in Louisiana, where the cotton is produced at mass scale. Your investment will be double within 2 months. Back then in 1717, Louisiana was infested with snakes and crocodiles. Even the devil had to think twice to set foot on that ground. The con man was no other than John Law, and the company was the Mississippi Company. Our suggestion is, when you are in doubt, don't invest. Your investments should be backed by facts, not by emotion like greed. The another thing that you need to be aware about is the rate of return for such a scheme is high and does not reflect the fluctuation in market return. The fixed rate of return is possible, but it is never exponentially higher than market rate of return. Take an example of fixed deposit. So it is not possible for any investment scheme to provide return higher than market return for long time, because there are numerous events happening all over the world like pandemic, war, political turmoil, share crash, which will affect market and eventually market rate of return. Even the scheme is about the gold price is also volatile. So you need to keep this in mind and always ask reason why the rate of return is unreasonably higher than market rate of return. The last red flag that you need to be mindful about is the perpetuator of this scheme don't want you to withdraw your return or fund. They will ask you to keep investing or provide you with more attractive investment schemes. Why, you ask? If people start withdrawing their funds, these perpetuators will not have money to pay the earlier investors, which will then ultimately leads to demise of this scheme. This is the reason why Ponzi scheme fails. When fraudster sees that no more people are investing in their scheme and most of them are demanding their money back, then that is the right time to take all the money and disappear. Let us talk about another common fraud scheme known as pyramid scheme, or most of you may know it as a multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing is itself not illegal. In most of country they are considered legal, but you need to understand when multi-level marketing becomes a pyramid scheme. When scheme focus is not selling product but rather making members, as well as when more than 70% of total revenue of that scheme comes from investor fund rather than the sale of product, then you need to identify that multi-level marketing as a pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme is a derivative of Ponzi scheme, but there are some key differences. First, pyramid scheme usually focus on selling goods like cosmetics, investment scheme, health product. These products are very expensive but are usually worthless. You may have heard about one coin cryptocurrency fraud, where people had to buy books to get one coin, and the books were guide to invest in cryptocurrency, and almost all the content in the books were plagiarized. The pyramid schemers usually focus on a particular ethnic group or community. The main reason behind this is, if they can bring aboard only one person, he or she will bring others within that group very easily, because the members within these groups are tightly knitted. The success of this scheme depends upon how many members it can collect. Like Ponzi scheme, they pay their earlier investors so that he or she can be paid to attract other members for that scheme. Similar to Ponzi scheme, this scheme fails when it is no longer able to recruit more members. So now fraudsters are not able to collect sufficient fund to pay their earlier investors. This is the time when fraudster vanishes with their loot. Thank you for watching this video. If you have found it useful, please like and share others so that they will know about this kind of fraud. In next video series, we'll talk about other useful content, so hit the subscribe button to never miss any updates. Thank you and have a good day or good night depending upon when you are watching this video.